Hey folks, I'm Nick Janes, Director of Communications for Overland Expo. And I am really excited right now because we are standing in front of our Ultimate Overland Vehicle 2022. This is the second year we've ever done an Ultimate build, and this one, well, it takes it up a notch in a lot of different directions, literally and figuratively. We'll get to that in a second. But let's start off with what the vehicle is itself. It's the all-new GMC 1500 Sierra AT4X. This thing is all new. It just came out. We got one of the first ones in the United States. This thing is a beast. It's powered by a 6.2 liter V8, makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, routed through a four-wheel drive system, 4x4, high and low T-case, but importantly, the front and rear differentials are electronically lockable, which is super cool. We've done a ton of stuff to this thing, but let's start here at the front. All right, right here at the A-pillar, we have rigid XP adapt lights. You see we have them here in the A-pillar and then a whole ton up on the Rhino rack, roof rack up there. What's special about these, not only are they really bright and really strong, all those good things, but they also have a GPS unit. That's right, this thing knows how fast you're going and it can adjust the beam to the speed. So let's say you're going slow rock crawling in the dark. Well, it'll give you a big spotlight. Well, and then you start driving 35 miles an hour, it knows that and narrows down to a driving light, or vice versa. Really cool. That's why we put these all over this truck, so there is no chance we're not gonna see obstacles in the dark. For the second year in a row, we went with Firestone Destination MT2 tires. These are 32 by 12.5, 17. Went for these again this year because, well, they're strong, they're awesome in the mud, and they don't howl too much, and plus, they look pretty great too. Those are wrapped around Icon's new Rebound Pro 17-inch alloys. We love the look of these. We went the titanium, they also come in matte black and bronze. And behind all of these is another distinguishing feature of the AT4X. It's GMC's Multimatic shocks. They're piggyback reservoir, so they ride real smooth on the highway and absorb a lot of imperfections, even at high speed on the desert. Up on the roof, we have a Rhino rack Pioneer platform rack that's holding a bunch of gear, as you can see, including those rigid lights. Right next to me here is a Forest Tool axe that's part of the Max Toolkit. We also have a couple jerry cans, and on the other side, an AluBox from our friends at Equipt. Okay, I'll admit I buried the lead a little bit on this vehicle. You can see we changed a lot on the back. Back here is a tray and canopy conversion from MITS alloy out of Australia by way of Issaquah, Washington. That's where the North American headquarters is with Mule Expedition Outfitters. They're the ones who built this whole thing for us. There's so much to say about this. You start by removing the GMC bed, which has a lot of cool features from factory, but we'll talk about that another time. We'll drop on an all aluminum flatbed. Then we opted for the 3-foot canopy. People call it a half canopy, call it a dog box, whatever you want. It's 3 feet, and we got a lot of gear in there as well. But that's just not all of it here. Between the cab and the headboard is an 8-gallon water tank. You can fill that up and pump your water out as you go down the trail. You don't have to worry about putting it elsewhere. There's also really great storage underneath on both sides. We'll talk about those in a second as well. One of the benefits of having the half canopy, the dog box as I like to call it, is you still get some pickup bed on the back, and those side rails, they still fold down, so you can still get full access to the things that we keep back there, including the spare tire that's against the back of the dog box. But wait, there's still more to the tray here from MITS. Back here is a full-length drawer. This is one of the selling features. I absolutely love this. You still get so much utility from that tray, and then you still get these sealed drawers and storage bins. Absolutely love that. Looking down a little bit, you can see those tailpipes. Well, they're not stock. That comes from MagnaFlow. It's a performance catback exhaust. And if I'm honest, folks, it makes the 6.2 liter absolutely howl. I love this thing. Normally when I'm driving my vehicle, I'm a bit of a Christian motorist. I'm pretty sedate on the road. With the sound of this V8 roaring, I keep my foot in it all the time. So Thanks but no thanks from our friends at MagnaFlow. Resting here, and just for display, I'm not gonna keep the gear like this, but resting here is some of our storage and recovery gear. We have waterproof bags, and not just the one, we've got many of them from the brand 3D. Those are really cool. We keep those up on the roof when we're not standing still here at camp. We also have the rest of the Max toolkit from Forest Tool. Comes in this beautiful leather case. Recovery boards, those are Go Treads. Those are made here in America, really like those. They're foldable. We'll pull out and play with those here in a minute, but they also fold down in this nice little bag. And we have 2 sets of those for all 4 wheels. Lastly, we've got a huge, awesome dual ground swag from 23-0. This thing is got a built-in mattress, it's got a skylight, it's big enough for 2, it's awesome. Moreover, it fits that sort of South African, Australian look we're going for with this build, and it fits perfectly back here in the tray. On this side of the tray, these little storage bins, we dedicated it to air compression. It comes from Geyser. It's the Expedition series. More than a single little air compressor whirring away down there, it's also got a big air tank so it can fill it up, and then I can reinflate these tires real fast. Another thing the air compressor reinflates though is the Firestone Ride Right airbags. Yeah, we've got those on the rear axle. That keeps the back end of this thing exactly the right height that we want. It's great, it was a must-have for this vehicle because those Multimatic shocks, well, they can be a little valve soft when they're overloaded with weight like we've done here. So the Ride Rights keep that back end up, have a nice rake to it, keep the headlights from blinding everyone. You know how it is when you dump the back end down. This solves that problem. Let's talk about what's in the dog box. On this side, it's a stand-up fridge from Dometic. It's the CRX 110, 110 liters. My friends, that is a lot of cooling space. Check that out, that's awesome. You can do a lot with that. Behind that though, mounted on the wall, is REDARC's Manager30 and RedVision. All of that is powered by the sun. There's a solar panel also from REDARC up on the top of the dog box. That runs into there, inverts the power, runs it into a couple batteries from Battle-Born batteries that we have back there. 2 lithium-ions, those will last forever. This setup, guys, is so much lighter and easier to access and saves so much more space than your chest-style fridge with a really heavy pull-out, all of those things. This is sort of the next generation for overlanding fridges, especially with tray and canopy conversions. Lastly, up here on top of the canopy, we have a big old antenna from WeBoost. It's the Drive Reach WeBoost system. It's a cell signal booster. We know this vehicle is going to be out in some remote places, but we still want to have at least a scotch of cell signal. That's what this does. It can't create cell signal out of nothing, but if it's got even just a little bit of cell signal, it can boost it up to maybe 2-3 bars of service, and that'll be essential for living, working, playing out in the field. On this side of the rack, we have another product from Rhino-Rack. It's the Sunseeker 2.0 awning. This thing is essential for if you're going to spend any time out in the sun in the summer, like we will exploring in this vehicle. We mounted it on this side because the fridge is on this side. You're gonna be hanging out a little bit more on the passenger side than you will on the driver's. On this side of the dog box, we even have more gear, believe it or not. That's the benefit of having a stand-up fridge on the other side. We have an AluBox up here from Equipt, have a Green Goat Outdoors camp kitchen. If you haven't heard of that, I don't blame you. It's brand new. Before we got this one, it was just a dream and a CAD drawing. Super excited to fold that out and use it on the trail. We also have a Geyser System shower. You can use that for your body or even, heck, your dishes. It heats the water, it filters it, all of those good things in a light, small package. Then more recovery. We've got a safe jack. This is essential, guys. This is a bottle jack. It's not a high lift jack, which can fall off and break your teeth or break your head. This thing is safe. You gotta have one of these. I insisted on it for this vehicle. Behind those, again on the wall, we've got our Battle-Born batteries, 2 lithium-ion, 110 amp hour batteries, more than enough juice to pull into this thing, and then we've got our inverters from REDARC behind that. And then we got some auxiliary lighting, which I can flip on from the Manager30 on the other side. We have 2 more pieces of gear for keeping in touch with folks while you're out on the trail in the backcountry. First and foremost, we have the new Midland MXT575 handheld radio. This one puts all of the controls in the handheld mic, which is awesome. You don't have to another control box. Little brains of it are stuffed in the center console. Moreover, this GMRS radio is the most powerful allowed by law, 50 watts. You're not gonna be able to beat this, folks. I've actually ordered one of these for my vehicle personally after using this one in the GMC. It's absolutely awesome. We're so glad to have it. Last but not least, we come to Zoleo, the satellite communicator. I've written about these before on Overland Expo. The Compass, they're awesome. It's a satellite communicator. It lets your friends track you with breadcrumbs through the app. You can send text messages, send SOS, things of that nature with really reasonable monthly subscription costs. They don't necessarily tie you into a year. You can do month by month if you want. That was essential for this build as well. That's it, folks. That's our Ultimate Overland Vehicle 2022. I hope you liked it. And if you want to see it in person, you've got to come to all the Overland Expo events. This will be at all 4 this year, debuting at Overland Expo West. Then it'll go to Pacific Northwest, Mountain West, and finally East. In between, it's gonna go and drive on some of the most iconic trails in North America, including the Magruder Corridor, White Rim Road, you name it, this thing is gonna do it, and we're gonna document it on our social media channels as well on the Compass. So please follow along and like and subscribe, all those things you know. Thanks again for watching. I'm Nick James with Overland Expo.